Popping. My
Dude,
guys, what's good? What's good?
what's going on?
What's up, rap?
What's popping? What's popping? What it look like?
Chilling, man,
Man,
Oh
chilling.
man,
we locked in again. This episode 17. SM Enlightenment Television. This is the Hustle Within, episode 17, season 2. We're locked in.
yes sir.
Gotta
Captain
feed the
Brands,
streets.
Captain Entertainment, Captain
Right,
Venture Partners. We all in the building. Man, we
that's what
gotta
I
get right
do.
into it, guys. How was y'all weekend?
Oh, I'm living that AB life.
Oh, we got the AC
I'm living
Brown on.
that
Everybody
AC
got the
Brown
AC
life.
Brown on. Oh man, the Pyramid Collection. K Mill's got a Pyramid Collection. Where you get that from,
Oh yeah,
Rap?
oh, yeah. You know how I do better. Blood
Man,
out,
I'm gonna
blood
keep
in.
my eye on you, man. I gotta keep my eye on you, Rap. You getting special privileges. I don't like that. But
Yes, sir.
hey, we got the AC Brown rocking the AC Brown collection. But hey, man, we gotta get right into it. I got something special tonight. This is a comparison top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 Hollywood classic leading African American actress versus current African American leading ladies. Man, give me, hey, King Los, give me one of a old Hollywood classic, beautiful man, talented actress. K Mills, give me one. So y'all go down the line, give me one. Then give me a current actress, beautiful actress that
Well,
you might
you know,
think.
at Curd, I'm gonna go with Holly Berry, but from back in the day, I'm trying to think. What's the one that played Cleopatra? I can't remember
Alicia
her
Keys.
name.
I can't remember her name either. Who played Cleopatra? Man, I don't know that one. What about you, King
Yeah.
Los? Who you got? Cleopatra, you got Cleopatra?
I got Cicely Tyson
Cicely
from
Tyson.
my
Okay,
school band,
beautiful. That's Cicely Tyson. She did.
right?
She was top. She
And
was the
then
top.
so current, I'm gonna go with the young lady. She's a little older than me, but but PJP Henson.
Okay,
And I
okay.
know I'm messing up her name.
Oh man,
Rodney.
yeah.
Yeah, Rodney.
I just,
Okay, I'm like,
I know her
man,
by
Hey,
P.
you should
boy,
I
you
you
just
should have
calling
said
up like,
Cookie.
hey,
me
keep it
tonight. I
clear.
don't know. I'm looking
You
around.
should have said
What's
Cookie.
going on?
You'd have said Cookie. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay. Cookie. Okay. So you going with Cookie with Taraji? Okay, I'm gonna go down the list. The classic leading ladies. I'm gonna start at number 5, Sybil Lewis. Number 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Look. Oh my God. Oh my God. Man. Woo. I know that. Hey, man, I couldn't live back in them times. Okay, Josephine Baker. Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Now
Mm-hmm.
these are vintage classic women. Now number 3, Cicely Tyson. We already said her. And number 2, Dorothy Dandridge. Oh my God. That's Holly Berry right there. That's Holly Berry. She looked just like him. They both look
Yes,
alike.
sir.
And
Man,
then the
hey,
number 1
okay.
classic leading lady, Lena Horne, Miss Lena Horne, Fred Sanford said Lena Horne. Oh my God. Look, oh my God, beautiful. And
Man,
I got an honorable mention too, another Fred Sanford, Red Fox, Lola Falana. Lola Falana. So these are all vintage, classic, leading ladies. They performed. I mean, they thing back then. They did. They wasn't just movie stars. They was really movie stars. They were
mhm,
singers, dancers. They did everything. They played instruments, and they was in movies, top movies,
mhm.
Oscar award-winning movies. Dorothy Dandridge was in. She was nominated for Best Actress. I think she was the first black female to be nominated for lead actress in Academy Award.
Yeah, it would
What
be
y'all think about this top 5 and the honorable mention real quick?
it,
And then
it
we're
would
gonna
be
go to
hard to it wouldn't be hard to vote for nothing looking that fine. So yeah, it ain't shocking that they won.
oh they were fine back then, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, they were fine as wine. They were fine as this wine right here.
Caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's my favorite. Hey, that's my favorite candy, caramel. I love it. Okay, King C-Los, what you think about this
Yo,
classic leading ladies? Hollywood classic
well,
leading ladies.
certainly good list, right?
Yes.
Talented, trailblazers. It is Women's History Month in the entire month of March.
Yes,
You
sir.
Mm.
know, so that being said, I certainly what sticks out the most is being trailblazers, because just imagine how difficult it was to get into Hollywood back then. With all
Right.
the other stuff that was happening. But it's really good to pay homage to the past and to some talented and lovely ladies that kind of paved the way for the Holly Berries of the world today.
Okay. What you saying that? I'm gonna go into the current leading ladies. You got number 5, Taraji P Henson, K Mills. I mean, no,
Cookie.
that was King Lowe's pick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Cookie.
Number 4,
So,
Regina King. Regina
yep.
King.
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
know
she
her.
made a movie, didn't she? She made a movie or not?
Yeah. And then number 3, Kerry Washington.
Okay.
Okay. And number 2, Angela Bassett.
Okay.
Beautiful. Oh man.
Mm.
And number 1, Viola Davis. Viola Davis. Then we got
But
honorable mention also. We got Alfred Winfrey, Woodruff.
but I'll tell you what's missing here. It's the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I don't know a lot about where these women started, right? You
Mm.
know, P. I'm just call it P because I don't want to destroy a first name. But P. Henson, Benjamin Button, great movie. If you haven't seen it, go out there and look at it. I'll
Oh
watch
yeah,
that
very
movie
good
all
movie.
day,
Very
every
good
day.
movie.
Great cast, great theme to the movie.
Right.
Mm.
But what I think a lot of them are missing are what we saw in the past. The women of the past, all faceted. They could do everything,
Right.
sing on Broadway,
Dance.
movies.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, my honorable mention that you probably didn't think of before, God rest her soul, Whitney Houston. You
Oh yeah.
see, in comparison, stacking her up against the talent from the years past, I think Whitney Houston would have been, if she was still alive, she did
Mm.
amazing work on the screen, but also she was a platinum selling artist. You see what I mean? And I think when you're well rounded like that, you're
Mm.
multifaceted, man,
Mm-hmm.
you'll live on forever.
And then I think they try to put Janet Jackson in that world also, a little.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. She. Yeah.
because you got some, but the thing that caused them to have their issues were they started off as recording artists. See, the Lena Hornes and the Dorothy Dandridge and Josephine Bakers, they started off as dancers and singers. The more dancers in Broadway and musicals, and so your movies were singing movies, like they were singing in the movies.
Mm.
So back then they used to sing in their movies. So they had to really put their talent out there to be seen in the movies. Now you got these actresses like Angela Bassett. They more deep into acting. They don't sing. They not dancing. They sing. I mean, they acting. The Kerry Washingtons. So I don't know their background before they got into just direct acting. Some have background in ballet and singing, but their niche market and what people want to see is acting. Regina King is directing right now.
Yeah.
She's a director,
That's right.
and she just won
Regina,
an Academy Award.
Boondocks,
Yeah,
Boondocks, Queen of King, the little
yep.
the little the little rough little cats. That was Regina King. That was her voice.
Okay, she's bad. Like she,
Probably inappropriate humor,
yeah,
but the Boondocks. You know what
right.
I mean? That was Regina King.
And then Taraji, you already know, Cookie off of Empire, you
Yeah.
know, and then all the other movies, Benjamin Button, case of Benjamin Button, or I mean, and Baby Boy, she played in Baby Boy.
Yep. Baby well.
And then you got Kerry Washington. What was her thing? Kerry Washington. Uh, Kerry Washington played in a lot of movies too.
Yeah. She played in
The one with the president. What was the thing? Scandal. Scandal.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo. Scandal.
Yeah,
She
she's
was.
in that Tyler
Oh
Perry movie
man,
too.
it was like they used to have watch parties for Scandal.
Oh yeah, yeah. Scandal. Yeah, yeah.
They used to invite people to watch parties for Scandal. And then
Mm-hmm.
you already know Viola Davis. She's the top right now. She just got nominated for a Golden Globe for her movie in with Chadwick Boseman, the last movie that he did on Netflix. It was about a jazz singer. It was a big movie. So you got to remember that just them movies alone, man. And then you go, like, I'm going to go back to classic Hollywood, the Lena Horne, Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge died too young. I mean, she died too young. She was very talented. She had a lot of, there was a lot of things going on in her life, but she had a lot of issues when she was growing up. I watched the movie with Halle Berry. And I forgot about Halle Berry. But Halle Berry, she was in the top 10, but Halle Berry played, she was nominated for Academy Award for playing Dorothy Dandridge. So that just shows how, and
what
she looked just
award
like
or what movie did she win?
The Monster Ball.
Oh
Right.
man.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
took
God.
a
Oh
movie
my
like
God.
that.
I'm gonna
Donkey
act
Kong.
like this.
But it took a movie like that. In retrospect, it took a movie like that to get her the accolades of winning an Oscar, where she's this subservient woman, right?
Man.
I mean, it just makes you think about what Hollywood really is.
Man.
Hollywood is sick and demented. So I'm not surprised
Man.
that the one you just showed, Lena Horne, she passed away early because
Yeah.
Hollywood is sick and demented.
Right.
And that's probably a whole nother segment. We can get into Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But a lot of these talented people die too fast. Die young.
And with that being said, we're gonna jump into the second segment, man. I think any final thoughts on classic leading ladies and current leading ladies in Hollywood, African American leading ladies, and this is Women Month, March, Women Month.
Summing it up as trailblazers from the past, trailblazers from today. They got to continue to blaze those trails for other folks that are coming, other women, young women that are coming. And big shout out to women, little young ladies, mothers, daughters, because it is your month. So salute.
All right, K Mills, any thoughts on any of this this first segment, top five?
Nah, on my other perspective, it was like Queen Latifah or something. That's it.
Okay, yeah, Queen Latifah. She's a top leading lady. She was in the top 10. And she started off as a rapper. So that's
Yep.
one thing we got to remember. She started off as hip hop, which we will be going into hip hop category soon. I got something special coming up down the line in one of the shows. But we're gonna jump into the next segment, the Shooting the Breeze segment. We talk about comparing the generations. Comparing the generations. Now, y'all know what generation you in, right? We got the baby boomers, right? We got the millennials, or whatever they want to call it, Generation Z. We got Generation X, right? And then we got Generation Alpha. Right, man. Let's go right into it. King Los, man, I'm gonna get your thoughts on this real quick. What do you think about just looking at the different generations, baby boomers, millennials, Generation Z, Generation X, and I can break them down to you a little bit. The baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. The millennials, 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, 1997 to 2009. Right? Generation X, 1965 to 1980. Generation Alpha, 2010 or after. So it's basically started in 2010. That is the newest generation of these kids that's going to have some issues. So what do you got, King Celos? What do you think about the generations and some of the things that went on in these generations?
So I'll start with the baby boomers and
Okay.
kind of like jump to the future, right? So I
All
think the
right.
baby boomers are they are indirect descendants of slaves, right? And you kind of think about that lineage. So and I mean
Oh my
indirect
God.
because it's their grandparents' parents that they are closer to. We are far removed, right? And each
Right.
generation is far removed. So they're not going to understand like some of the struggles in the history and that tough as nails mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see the baby boomers as the toughest period of probably in our generation while they're still alive. And then as you continue to go along, it gets a little bit easier for the generations that come afterwards and generations that come after that, and all the way up into that Apple generation. So the Apple generation and the baby boomer generation have nothing in common. They don't even speak the same language. They
Right.
don't under the Apple generation can't even understand or even can imagine the struggles from the baby boom generation. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there's that gap, and there's that history gap between the two. And I think when you start looking at this new generation, they're not tough. They're not gonna get it. Their survival skills are dependent totally on technology. Half of them probably don't even know how to change a tire, and
Right.
not to diss them because there's some talented Apple folks out there,
Yeah.
Apple generation folks out there making money, doing a lot of great things. But I
Mm-hmm.
think as time goes on and our baby boomers start to die off, there's going to be that lost gap of information, that transfer of knowledge, that transfer of identity, who you are, and what that struggle looks like. Because we need that baby boom generation to bridge that gap.
We
And I
need that
think if
them
we
OGs. We
don't
need
tap
them
into it
OGs
before they're all gone,
years.
we're
We
not going
got
to
to keep the
know.
OGs.
Yep. So I'll sum it up that way.
King K Mills, what do you think about it?
Well, it started off as everybody was respected everybody. I mean, you do something wrong, you might get whooped 3 times before you get home.
Right.
Till now, well, I ain't gonna go to now. Till it moved on to you can't even look at people kids wrong when it's a problem. To now, where everybody most of them on drugs, and the older people look better than the younger people.
Right. But you also now we got Generation X, which is 1965 to 1980.
Mm-hmm.
You dealing with we call that the MTV generation. That's
Mm-hmm.
where you first got introduced to MTV in that generation. And that's where music became popular. Pop music, pop
Mm-hmm.
sensation. That's where people started really making money off music. To be real with you, during that generation was music was it was that free generation because also in that generation you had the hippies. You had the
Mm-hmm.
hippie culture. You had that free music, that free life. That's where a lot of the drugs were introduced within that generation.
Free
Um,
pollen. That really ain't a drug though.
yeah. You had pollen. Yeah, you had pollen going on over there. Then you
Yeah,
had Generation Alpha, which is now the current. That's where the Apple. That's what they call the Apple generation. What Los was talking about. Um, these are entirely 21st century kids, and they are millennials kids. These are the millennials, which is when you go back, the millennials are from 1981 to 1996, which is basically we fall in our generation pretty much. Um, and they were also known as Generation Y. We um, we elevated usage of internet and mobile devices and the social media. So this generation is the cause of social media, cell phone usage, going into all the technology. That millennial generation is the generation to be like, hey, we the ones that was on the cell phone, getting the first big cell phone, being in New York. Like, hey, I got to get that flip phone. Got to get it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was us. That was that generation,
Like
1981
got
to 1996.
got to get the phone in the car phone.
Yeah, you gotta have the car and the phone. You got the phone, the phone in the car. You gotta have that.
Mm-hmm.
You got if you don't have that, you're not balling.
You ain't
Then
balling.
you got the Generation Z, which was they did a lot of research. These are 1997 to 2009.
Mm-hmm.
They dealt with the research of a lot of these different things that's going out in the world. They wasn't old enough to vote, Right now, I think they just get into the time frame where they're old enough to vote. Um, they was part of the Great Recession. Remember, we went through not a Great Depression, we went through a Great Recession. Remember when the stock market went crazy that year and all the houses, everybody was losing their houses, and I think this was
2008.
2008. This was during 2008, so they was part of that 2008 because the generation goes from 97 to 2009, and then you also got generation. Well, we talked about Alpha. So what do you think about it, King Los? Sum up the millennials and Generation X. I mean Generation Z.
Well, I think in summary, I think if you think about some of the biggest things that happened over the last 20, 30 years, you're gonna start thinking about technology, the
Right.
emergence of Amazon, right? And look what Amazon morphed into. Then you can't leave out, 9/11. Where were you during 9/11, right? Those are pivotal moments in history where you got to kind of think through and say, all right, where was I? And what really defined, that 2000 to 2010? It's really 9/11, right? And then from, in that Great Recession in 2008. So, two pivotal moments in that 10-year period. But I think overall, when you start summing up two generations, you're going to start, you got to think about like the losses that they're going to experience over time and everything that they gain. They're a
Right.
lot smarter, right? They're coming out the womb, playing with technology, cell phones, etc. But I think overall, these technologies are distracting their mental and emotional growth. And some of us have teenagers.
And
You
that's what I'm about
see
to
the
ask you. I'm about to
difference,
ask you a question. What do you
same
think?
genes, but totally different outlook on life.
Yeah. So
Totally
what do
different.
you think about the kids of this generation and their future? What do you think? From the knowledge factor that they know, from technology to, but they don't know life skills. I just don't think they know the life skills that they need to continue to push it, push different generations ahead.
Yeah.
Because once we're gone, I think we are the last of the generation that actually know how to do life skills and go out there, like you said, change a tire, fix, lay
Mhm.
down carpet. Hand skills, hand on hand skills.
But that was my point when we started talking about the baby boomer generation
Yeah.
and how that information was passed along, you know, from their parents and grandparents to then us. And then there was that big gap. I don't know if it happened during the MTV era
Yeah.
or the cell phone era or the Amazon era. I don't know if that break in transfer of knowledge occurred then, but it did. And I'll tell you now, this era, starting in 2020, moving forward, is going to be the era of COVID, social injustice, and that's going to be the generation after that's going to define that. So there is some opportunity from the social aspect to gain some of that back, what we saw in the 1960s with the baby boom era.
Okay. So what about leadership? What do y'all think about the leadership that's moving forward? Do you think, just in general, this is my last question before we move on to the next segment. What do y'all think about leadership moving forward into generations to come? Do you think we should have younger leadership in Audi because these senators and presidents and these guys are baby boomers?
Yeah.
A lot of them are baby boomers, man. It's time to start to look at the new, some of these younger, in our generation, 40s, the 30s, the 20s, you know, to start bringing some of them as leaders. Do you think do you think we can have that moving forward? Do you think we can have that? King Los, real quick, wrap it up on that.
No, no, I mean because we're talking about a gap in maturity, a gap in leadership, a gap in
Right.
all those things that we just kind of saying like hell, we're even questioning whether we have a bright future with
Right.
the group that we have now currently. So
Mm.
I say no unless we can kind of re-educate. And I'll tell you right now, if you're a parent You can't just expect that stuff to just sink into their head every time they go to sleep, or lay a book under their pillow and that just sinks into their brains. We
Right.
actually have to step up as parents, as a community, to teach our kids what real leadership looks like. Teach them the history of the struggle and why it's important that they don't forget, so history doesn't repeat itself.
Man, greatly put. K Mills, you got anything you want to add to that?
Nah, he summed it up, man.
I was about to say he just dropped the mic, so I'm gonna
Yep.
go to. Hey, I'm about out of my dirty water, but I already know K Mills got a good story to tell, so we're gonna drop right
Yes,
into
sir.
it. K Mills, hey, I still got my AC Brown hat on.
Oh
Still
yeah.
rocking the AC Brown now.
I'm
Hey,
looking like I'm from Brooklyn.
we go from
Like
Brooklyn,
AC
man.
on.
Hey, I'm gonna bring it in to my guy over here, K Mills. Hey, man, take it away. K Mills,
All
I
right.
got a story to tell segment.
Gotta feed these streets.
Got to feed these streets.
All right, check this out. So I'm in Monroe, chilling with these chicks, having the best time of my life.
Monroe, Louisiana, or Monroe, North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Okay, gotcha.
Now my little shorty, she blowing my phone up. She keep texting me, "Where you at?" Every 30 minutes. Like, where you at? I'm like, yo, why this chick texting me every 30 minutes asking where I'm at? Then she called. I answered. She like, what's going on now? What you doing now? What you doing now? I done hung up on her. I went cold turkey, ain't answer nothing else. I said, you know what? She got to be up to something. I said, don't worry about it. I chilled. Then I left. So when I left, I hollered at one of my friends. This chick is a Latino chick. I went and parked my car at her house. She said it was cool. Yeah, she got green eyes and long hair. So I parked my car there and walked to the
Is that
chick's
my
house.
friend too?
I don't know. She might be. Yes, sir. So I walked to old girl house, knocked on the door. My stepdaughter looked through the blinds and seen it was me. So she opened the door. She like, yay, it's stepdaddy. So I bent over, give her a hug or whatever. She whistled in my ear. She said, Daddy, mommy got boys over here. I said, uh-huh. I see. So I gave her $20 on one. She went back in the room, told me I got a stack. So,
Oh my God.
so I stood up, right? So now, old girl sit on the couch with her best friend sitting beside her. Then it's another chick on the other couch. Then there's 3 dudes at the table at the back. So when I stand up, I noticed one of the dudes is mean mugging me. So I'm like, oh man, I said, okay. So I pulled my shirt up and let him see the sword.
Oh my God.
So he put his
Not
head down.
Excalibur.
Man, you already know what it is. So old girl, her mouth wide open. Her friend, everybody, they done dropped their mouth, shocked. So I'm like, yo, y'all had a party without me? Nobody ain't saying nothing. I said, so y'all having a party, ain't nobody tell me about it. So her homegirl that was sitting on the couch by herself, she was like, K Mills, I would have invited you to the party, but I don't know how to get up with you. I said, you know what? I like you. She said, it's some food in there if you want something to eat. So I still got the sword hanging out. I went in there, ate some chicken. Then I went and sat down with the chick that told me where the food was at. I said, yo, you know what? What you know about this? And I pulled out the pollen. I said, you allergic? She said, let's find out. So while she on the pollen or whatever, this chick like, you wow. She rubbing all on my chest, flirting with me. I said, this chick wanted me. The old girl's looking like, what's going on? We catch eye contact. I tell her, let's go back in the room with my eyes. So she went back there in the room. Now the dude's still at the table chilling now. She went back there in the room, closed the door, and I donkey konged her.
Oh my God.
While the dude's in there. So we come out the room. I look at the chick that I was on the couch with, winked my eye at her, and walked out the door.
Man, not with your shirt off.
Man.
Yeah, shirt off,
Hey, moral of the story.
hanging out.
Excalibur hanging out everywhere, man. The moral of the story is when somebody point the finger, that's the guilty conscience right there.
Oh my God. Hey, man. Oh my God. See, the K Mill stories, man, legendary. Hey, but we gonna have to take a quick break, real quick, and I'm gonna announce our sponsors real quick. We got 180 Haircutting Studio and Male Spa. We got Forever Young Beauties and Cosmetics for the ladies. Ladies, make sure you go out there and go to their website. and Captain Venture Partners. If you want to invest, make sure you hit up K Mills 652 and King Celos. They got the money. I don't have anything. They got the money. So, man, y'all keep it locked. We'll be right back. SM
I'll let me,
Enlightenment
man.
Television, and this is The Hustle Within, episode 17. Keep it locked. Yes, sir. We back.
What's up, man?
King is back.
I'm put my shades on for this one. SM Enlightenment Television. Yeah, I put my shades on for this one. I got the AC Brown hat on. Los, you got the AC Brown hat on too, don't you?
The king got it on.
Oh yeah, and what you got over there, K Mills? You've been
I got
quiet.
the Ace Brown into the pyramid.
Where you get that at, Rap?
See, it's a long story. I got this bank account and a savings account.
We know. We already know. That's why I say, yeah, we're gonna let that one leave that one out.
Oh,
man. But man, we gotta go. Hey, we got the Barbershop Talk, sponsored by 180 Hair Cutting Studio and Male Spa. So we're gonna jump right into it. I got a question for y'all, gentlemen. Have you ever dated someone older? Now, I'm not saying just like 2 years older, 3 years older. I'm saying 10 years older or more. You know? And do you think they are better overall than someone in your age group, or someone younger than you? And why? Man, I'm gonna go with King C. Los. He got something. Hey, I can tell. He got something to tell. I can tell. I'm gonna go right to him. I'm gonna go right to King C. Los.
All right, let me first
anyone at least 10 years older than you?
I would first say that it's Women's History Month.
Yeah,
and I love this month because we highlight some great women.
Yeah.
And my answer to your question is yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not every young guy can attract and secure an older woman, right? Let's be honest. Let's keep it transparent.
What are some of the keys? Remember now, what are some of the keys to attract an older, mature, Oprah Winfrey type lady?
Right.
Or maybe a Viola Davis.
Young fellas, I'm gonna talk to young fellas.
Very athletic.
Pull your pants up.
Right.
You're not gonna catch a good older woman by busting sags and all that, right?
Yeah, you can't have your hat like this either.
Yeah. Well, we on a show. So
you can't have your hat like this.
You find me wanting suit up any given day,
Right.
But the other thing is you gotta be in the right place at the right time. If you find a good, attractive, older woman, you gotta know where to go, right? That means you gotta have a little class, you gotta have a little taste.
Right.
Your drink, and I'll tell you, the person I dated, she was 10 years older than me. I was 30 at the time, and she was like 15 years older than me.
Whoa.
Look great. Look wonderful. She was the person.
Let me take these glasses off. Hold up. Let me take these glasses off.
But she was the person that introduced me to wine and art. Two things.
Yeah, two
things. Take notes, young people. Wine and art. You can impress someone with a great bottle of wine. And I'm not talking about your Boom Farm wine off
Boom
out of the Boom.
Not Boom Farm. Oh my God.
I'm talking about some Pinot Noir, Pinot Grigio, some Merlot, and flowers.
Right.
Perfumes. Things that you be like, oh man, I ain't doing that, because you never had to until you have to.
Right.
So yeah, I've been there, and it opened up my eyes. She was a lot smarter. She kind of opened up my eyes and showed me different experiences, things like that. And I'll never ever forget her for that. She was the first person that introduced me to a lot of things that I enjoy now.
Okay. King, K Mills 652. What you got?
Yeah, I never forget mine. She was about 10 years older. I never forget her because she was like 4'2", And then like she always used to try to tell me what to do, and I just pick up and just throw around everywhere.
No man, Lord Jesus. Oh man. Oh man. Now when I was dating Oprah, me and Oprah before we got married, we were dating.
Mhm.
So she was when I first started dating her, man. We had fun, man. And like you said, Los, I had to pull my pants up. I couldn't wear my hats like this.
Mhm.
So I had to keep my hats down. So and she taught me a lot of different things, man. She taught me how to count money a certain way. Invest. She taught me how to invest money. And man, I love her to this day. We still married. And with that being said, hey, we got a special guest tonight, guys. We got a special guest. Now, she's a CEO. Her company is called Unleashing Potential. She's a mother, community leader, and I think she's a diehard Ravens fan. And she's a college grad.
Oh my God.
Baltimore Ravens too. Now I ain't talking about
Oh yeah,
Ravens.
yeah.
I ain't talking about the Ravens baseball. I'm talking about Baltimore Ravens. Lamar
Oh, I know
Jackson.
what you're talking about.
And I want to bring her in, Miss Taryn Liggins.
All right.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Mom?
I'm good.
Welcome to the hustle.
Thank you.
I like that hair.
Tonight.
Thank you.
So
who was saying something about the Ravens though? I heard somebody comment when.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. You talking about Seattle? You talking about Seattle Seahawks or the Baltimore Ravens?
Oh man.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Okay, what made you become a Baltimore Ravens fan? You like football?
I do. I love football.
Okay, so what made you become a Ravens fan?
I mean, it was a long period of time when we didn't have a team. So when it came through, I mean, it's the home team. Born and raised. You gotta support the home team.
Okay, I hear that.
Yeah.
So tell us about your company, Unleashing Potential.
Yes, Unleashing Potential LLC. I'm actually the co-founder. I have a business partner. So shout out to my business partner, Miss Paula Bird. So Unleashing Potential is a behavioral health agency. And basically what we do is we run a PRP program, a psychiatric rehabilitation program where we support people with mental health support services. So all of our clients have a therapist or they're under a doctor's care. They're also on medical assistance, and we kind of come in and support them with different resources. If they're looking for a job, if they're looking for housing, help them with like developing life skills, resume writing. I mean, we do a little bit of everything.
Okay, and so who is your role models? Like, give me one of your role models and why.
Role models, just in business and life, or
in life or business. I mean, or you can give me both.
Life or business. Well, I'm gonna say my number one role model is my mom.
Okay.
I felt like I learned a lot from her, just kind of seeing a strong Black woman just doing the daggone thing. So shout out to her. And right now, I have so many role models, I say, because right now, Black women in business is like everything. Winning, completely winning. So entrepreneurship for Black women right now.
I need to borrow some money.
Yeah, any of y'all Black women that own businesses are single right now. I'm single. You can hit me up at kmeals652.com.
I need a PPP loan for one of these Black entrepreneur women.
I know that's right. Yeah, for sure. Black women are really, so any Black woman right now out there who, took that leap of faith and decided that they were going to start their own business, do something, make a difference in their community, and just start providing generational wealth in their family, which is huge. And I'm just so excited that so many people are kind of getting into that. And I'm just proud of my people. Like you said, it's Women's History Month. So, shout out to all the ladies that are doing the daggone thing. All the boss ladies out there.
All them bosses. Holla at your boy.
Hey, I mean, just tell people a little bit about yourself. I think I left that question out. Tell them a little bit of your history about yourself, where you from, because we jump right to the Ravens.
Born and raised, born and raised in Maryland. Yes, Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
I went to High Point University. where I graduated with a degree in psychology, bachelor's in psychology. So
HBU.
that background, HBU, you know.
Hmm.
So, from there, I did a lot of big brother, big sister stuff there, a lot of mentorship at High Point. So it kind of segued me into the business that I'm in now, just working in mental health. But I will say that prior to getting into that field, for a good 10 to 12 years, I did a lot of promotions and event planning.
Okay.
So so that picture that you saw with the Bentley, that was one of the events that I was a part of. And so, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a little bit about me. A little social
Oh,
butterfly.
And now you also in the sorority too, right?
I
Okay.
am. Dr. Sigel
Tell us a
Shade
little bit about your
Sorority
sorority.
Incorporated. Okay.
Okay. Shout out.
Um, yeah, shout out to all my sorors. Shout out to y'all. We winning.
Okay. Okay.
But yes,
mhm.
the best sorority in the land. I would just, I'll just say that. So shout
So,
out to
what
my
is the
soror.
future for, I guess, for your business for Unleashing Potential? What are some of the future goals, and have COVID affected you in any kind of way?
Um, COVID did kind of affect us a little bit. Just not really being able to go into the field the way we want to and the way we usually do. Um, Prior to the shutdown and the pandemic, we were going into the homes of our clients. We were going into, we're in the field. We're meeting people right where they are. To the school, we're picking people up. We're doing all those things. So COVID kind of slowed that down where, it wasn't recommended for us to go into the homes, just trying to be safe. So we're doing a lot of uh, telephone calls and video visits with our clients now. So I really miss, that in-person interaction. So it did affect us in that way, unfortunately. But it also brought attention to a lot of mental health needs as well. More than ever, because of the pandemic, people are experiencing depression,
Oh yeah.
and they're a little more open about it. Yeah, it's affecting everything. People's money is being affected by this financially. Their anxiety levels have been
Yep.
heightened
Anxiety's
because
heavy.
of, yeah. So,
Mhm.
because of that, it's a lot more people that are calling and they're just like, I just need to talk to somebody. I need some resources. I need help. So mental health has definitely become a huge topic post pandemic that, you know, I'm grateful that people are paying attention to that a little bit more, especially in the Black community. Just kind of
Oh yeah.
acknowledging that there is a need for mental health providers, and people are seeking that help now.
Right.
Mhm.
King C. Loach, you have a question for Miss Karen?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, so I guess my first question, she's smiling. Um, my first question for you, you're probably one of the first guests that mentioned having a partner in your business.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't talk about if they had. You're the first one on this show, but I guess my question for you: how much do you like your partner? How do you manage the relationship when you guys disagree regarding business? I'm glad you laughed because I'm being serious.
Okay.
Because you know, like just kind of thinking through that. As somebody like myself, I have other partners and about to start my business ventures. And how do you manage that? That's my first question. And then my
Okay.
second question to follow up with regards to your business, your industry. During COVID, did you guys tap into like Zoom and video chat to kind of like not stay stagnant? Because if you're depending on people to come into a building, did you guys like branch out and say, hey, all right, we gotta get creative under this pandemic lockdown situation?
All right. So to address your first question, me and my business partner, we met in the professional world. So we met. We were former coworkers for another organization, and we kind of clicked. So already we developed that relationship. And so from there, when we kind of started talking about, doing our own thing and just kind of jumping out there and taking the leap of faith, we already had that bond. So we get along great to answer your question. And
you
then
can tell us
our
the truth.
talents. I am telling the truth. And we both bring amazing talents to the table. So, where her strength is one thing, my strength is something else, and we kind of play off each other's strengths to make one strong unit. And so that's the great thing about our partnership as well. So I am grateful for that, and I don't take that for granted at all. So it does work. It can work. It is difficult sometimes to be in business with someone and, constantly having to, you get to know those people. You're around them a lot. You're invested in something together. So it can be a lot, but, definitely having a good relationship and establishing that rapport, it helped once we actually started with the business. So. And then in your second question, as far as the pandemic, and you do have to get creative. Like I said, prior to the pandemic, we were heavy in the community. We were out there, touching people. Like one of the things about this business that I personally love is being able to reach people and actually talk to them, go to their homes, and just go into their environment where they're most comfortable and communicating with them that way. So now that we are doing a lot of the video calls and that way, it's still effective because people need that support more than ever. But you do have to kind of get creative. We can't really do the groups in person, but we can do a group Zoom or something like that. Now I'm kind of starting to like go out to the community and maybe like keep my 6 feet away so I can see them in person, let them know, hey, look, I am here to support you. No matter what, you're not alone in this situation. We're still giving out food for Thanksgiving. I still make sure that my clients have turkeys. So we're not fully out of touch. We're still, diving in there when we can, but we're still being safe about it as well because we do have guidelines that we have to follow when it comes to that.
Right. Okay. K Mills, bonus question.
All right, bonus question. So you got to pick one, and you got to explain why you picked it. Will you date? If you had to date somebody out of these two people, one of the dudes got 5 kids, but the other dude got a criminal record, but it's only drug charges. Which one would you pick and why?
Okay, hold on. So one of them got 5 kids, and what's the other
5
one?
kids. The
5
other one
kids,
got a criminal
and the
record.
other one
Has a criminal record, but only drug charges.
All right, so I got a question. How many baby mamas?
He ain't got no kids. He been locked up too much.
The one that got 5 kids, how many baby mamas
5 kids.
he got?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The one with 5 kids. King Los. K Mills.
Well,
He
I
got 3 baby mamas.
Shay.
3.
No. I'm messing.
He got 3 baby mamas, 5 kids.
Yeah, so if he has
3 baby
like
moms, 5 kids.
3 baby moms and 5 kids total.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, see them them kids and them baby mamas not gonna go nowhere, right? But this man that just got out, he can be rehabilitated, because I specialize in rehabilitation. So maybe we can get him and turn him into a good entrepreneur, businessman. He'd be good, So I'm gonna go with the rehab man.
Yeah.
I had to try you. I had to try you. Oh man.
Hey, so
I like that one.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Now, what are some other things that you're doing into the community, or did you bring into the community as a community leader?
So I really like working with young people. I think it's definitely a need to, have good role models for the young people because there's so much going on. The culture is so different now for them. Everything is social media. And I feel like young people's self-esteem has been greatly affected by what they see on social media. So, people, they call it stunt for the gram. So everyone's stunt for the gram. And now, the little girls are looking like, if I don't look like that, I'm not pretty. Or,
Right.
the young guys feel like, oh, if I don't have a Gucci belt on, nobody's going to pay attention, So I think it's necessary to have, you know, uh, positive role models for the kids to just kind of see, like, hey, look, it don't matter what your background is or where you're coming from. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, this is how you do it. These are the steps that you take. And a lot of people just don't know. A lot of kids just don't know. Nobody's like investing their time in them to let them know, hey, look, you're young lady, you're beautiful. You don't have to do this. You can wear braids. You can wear your natural hair. You're beautiful. Or, you don't have to look like a video vixen to be pretty. Or the young guys need, mentors. I think it's really important for them to also have positive men in their life. So
Right.
my focus really is on young people. But, from a business standpoint, we service anyone from age 5 to 65. So, we're out there, helping elderly as well. So I just think it's really important that the young people in this particular generation that they have positive role models to look up to, and they're not just finding their way through social media.
Okay, I got one last question for you about our shooting the breeze topic was about generation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about baby boomers, which is 1946 to 1964. We talked about the
Mm-hmm.
millennials, which is 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, which is 1997 to 2009. Then Generation X, which is 1965 to 1980. And then Generation Alpha from
Oh goodness,
2010.
it's so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. Then
Yeah.
Generation Alpha is now present from 2010 to
Mm-hmm.
to present. What are your thoughts on these generations? And I guess, do you think, like I was asking King Los earlier, do you think leadership need to get younger, or do we continue to keep these older senators and older presidents and governors, or do we need a younger generation, or you think they would just go in there and blow it up, blow everything up, mess up everything, based off
Um,
these generations that I just named?
I don't know. It's difficult to kind of say because I'm trying to figure out exactly what these young people are trying to do. Like, I'm not exactly sure where their mind is. Like I said, it's such a
Right.
heavy influence from social media that it's like, are you interested in these roles? Like, is that something that you want to do, or you just kind of want to like make TikTok all day? Like, I'm not sure, but TikTok make money, so I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Um, but I would definitely be here for um, younger leaders stepping up. Currently in Baltimore, there's a young mayor. We have a young mayor here. I believe he's 36. So I think he's the
Yeah.
youngest. Yeah. So I'm definitely here for that because you could kind of bridge the gap between the young people and you can relate to them, but you can also lead them and steer them in the right direction, but still kind of like be cool enough to walk into a room of older people who've been in politics forever, So I'm I'm here for it. I definitely support anybody stepping up to be a leader because we need more leaders from different generations. Um, but I don't know. This new generation, they a little different.
Oh yeah,
A
they
little
definitely
different.
a little different. You're right.
Feed
They
them
different.
pills.
Hey, but Miss
Yeah.
Taryn, it was a pleasure having you on the show tonight. Give your shout outs, your handles, where people can follow you at, and shout out your team.
Okay, for sure. I appreciate y'all having me tonight. So,
You're welcome.
uh, you can definitely follow the business Unleashing Potential LLC. You can go to our website. It's www.unleashing-potential.org. We're on Instagram as well at unleashing_potential_LLC. I'm also on all social media platforms, Instagram, Taryn_A5, or Facebook, all of it. I'm on all of them. Typically, if you search Taryn, you can find me. It's not too many of us out there. But yeah, shout out to once again my business partner, Miss Paula Bird. It's been an amazing ride for us. So I'm just excited about what's to come with the business, expanding, just helping more people, and just kind of getting out there and just playing my part when it comes to giving back and just making a difference out here.
All right. Once again, thank you for coming on, Miss Taryn. And you have a great night. And
you too.
Be safe.
Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Go Ravens. Y'all look out for us.
Go see y'all.
Don't play.
Go see y'all.
Don't hate my boys.
Hey, we got to get the CRAA back.
Oh yeah, they got CRAA up there.
Yeah. Y'all stole our job.
We'll be up there next year. We'll come
We got something special for y'all next season. Don't be ready. Be ready.
You have a good night, Miss Taryn. It was a pleasure.
All right.
Good night.
Salute.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
Man, like King Los just turned up a 40 bottle, didn't you? What's up, King Los? Man,
yeah, so
oh my God. Turn that back. I know you got something boom for him over there. You got that boom for him over there, do you?
They Dipset.
Yes, sir. Dipset. Hey, give your shout outs, man. Once again, it was a pleasure to have Miss Taryn on. Hey, we doing it. They gave us a second season, man. SM Enlightenment Television, Captain Brands, Captain Entertainment. K Mills, give your shout outs, your handles.
All right, let me start off with a shout out to Doc, killing in the background always.
Yes,
shout out to Los. Shout out to Ant-Man. Shout out to my homeboys and the girls in PG. Showed me all that birthday love a couple of months ago. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Tico, Blow, Stomp, Reggie, Kevin, T, Rabbit, Julius, everybody in Ellaby, and all these single women out here. Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
There they go.
Death Row. Hey, King C. Los.
I want to give a shout out to the greatest co-host on the planet, Ant-Man K. Mills.
Yes, sir.
Behind the scenes.
Shout out to AC Brown. AC Brown got the AC Brown hats on.
Yep.
Shout out to AC
Gotta
Brown.
feed these streets.
AC Brown, I got some ideas for you, brother. Holla at me.
AC Brown.
AC Brown, and I got my AC smile on. But big shout out to all the women, right? Again, it is Women's History Month. Big shout out to all the women, all the great women of the past, current, and all the great women of the future. Big shout out to Taryn for coming on, representing her company and her partner. She actually likes you, partner. So that's a big shout out to you.
Yes,
and I just want not to get all religious on everybody, but I want to thank God for breathing and living.
Man,
all my friends from all different cultures and backgrounds, you guys make me contribute to me, right? The best parts of me. And big shout outs to everybody. And that's all I got for tonight. Good night. Happy Sunday.
Hey, SM Enlightenment Television, Captain Brand. Follow us on The Hustle Within on IG. Hey, keep it locked, man. We just getting rolling. Season 2, episode 17. Good night.
Holla at me, man.
Feed these streets.
Feed these streets.